All right, I took my nap and now I'm back. So, the focus right now is just smoothing, compacting. And I'm using this tool, which it took me about, I don't know, a while to get comfortable with using. Initially, I thought it was too soft for what I was trying to do with it. You know what? It wasn't that I thought it was too soft. It was too soft for what I was trying to do with it. But that was because I was not using it properly. I wasn't assessing tools as wisely as I am now. So right now, my focus is to compact and compress the clay because I added a lot of little pieces and there are probably air pockets in here and openings underneath the surface that I can't see. So this tool is sturdy because it's silicone, but it's flexible. So it allows me to follow along curves and press the clay in. And then it's all about managing the touch. After you feel that you've pressed the clay in enough, now you don't have to press as deeply, as hard with it, and then you can smooth. Like I want to come around here and really compact that clay. So I'm really compressing this. And it works because the tool moves. It bends. But then when I get into an area where I'm not concerned about pressing it in anymore, I just want to smooth it out, then you apply a feather light touch like you would if you were using a paintbrush. And then you get the desired effect. So one tool for pressing and compacting, and the same tool for feather light smoothing. Whereas before I just got frustrated with this tool. I love it now. Didn't before though. Right now, I'm compressing. You can't, from from the vantage point that I'm filming from, you can't see how much this silicone is folding over onto itself because I'm applying so much pressure, but it's exactly what's needed for what I'm doing. So now I'm coming around here to a ledge that I don't want to be a hard line. So now I adjust my grip and my touch, and I just brush like it's a paintbrush. It's really incredible to think about how I despised this tool and would not use it before. And now, especially on this, it's doing such a phenomenal job. And there are other variations of this tool that I have. They all came in a pack. So this that has a little bit of a curve to it, I haven't really messed with that one yet. And this one, I don't know or understand the real distinctions between it, so I don't bother with it. I find that this has all the yield and give that I need for what I'm doing, so it's fine. Well, you know what? Actually, I guess this would work good for like this area. This is a very, very curved, it's an eyeball, so it's very curved. And this allows you, I see now, to go in at an angle that doesn't upset and run into the clay that you're coming up on. So now we've discovered its purpose, and that's wonderful. Got other ones that are similar. Excuse me, guys. Silicone tip. I've just started utilizing these a lot for the very fine areas, tight areas. This is another one that I think will be interesting to use. It has a very chiseled tip, if you can see that. So this is where the part where I just go in a little deeper with the needle tool on the textures, just to add a little more definition than the softness of the whisk tool will allow. So all of the hairline definition is beautiful on its own, but I prefer to add a little bit more to it. So that's where I come in with the needle tool and just gouge it a little deeper and give it a little more depth and dimension. And for me, it has an effect. I don't know if anybody else would care or notice, but it makes a difference to me. All right, so I've done a lot of smoothing, and now it's time to get to the hollowing. Let me brush off this table real quick because I've got to get the towel ready. Okay, so let's see where it's going to be. I think right across the nose. Let me get you a little bit closer. So I'm going to cut right underneath these areas of interest that I gouged out, basically to match with, I always think this is a ball of loose clay, and I get ready to pull that up. I'll be so glad when I'm past that. But anyway, so I made these tracks in the nose that basically coordinate with the Wise One 3, which is the companion piece to this. Sorry, just spotted some area that needed some texturizing, so I'm going in and adding that real quick. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and split directly beneath that because I think it's a good point to split because it'll be below this lock. Yeah, that's a good point. So let's go ahead and get the towel set up so that I can put the half onto it. Hold on, I think I need to fold this and make it a little neater. All right, so there, we've set that up. We knew that there was going to be a fire, so the other thing that we did is we put a layer of cement underneath all of it. All right, so that was a nice solid swipe. Let's see if it can sit nicely on the towel. I'm going to lift up fairly gently. There we go. All right, so there we go. And this went along pretty much the same as with the Wise One 3. So we're gonna go ahead and draw out those lines for the walls. And let the hollowing begin. And like the other one, going all the way through to the very bottom. And once it dries enough to naturally separate from the cutting board, I'll go ahead and tighten up the underside. This clay is so good in the inside. It is such a nice consistency. Oh my God. So my video had cut off a minute ago, and honestly, I'm not sure why. I don't know what happened. I have enough storage on my phone because I had cleared it out, but that happened anyway. So anyway, I had hollowed this one, this half, and to close out my night, I'm going to go ahead and hollow out the top part, and then of course put them back together, and then I'm calling it a night because I've got a lot to do tomorrow as well. So yeah, I think I need to push this out of the way because I need to hollow on top of the towel. So let me get a comfortable tuck of towel up under my hand and then I can get to work. So here we go. And let's see if this cuts off for no apparent reason. I'm gonna try to not slide into the zone where I forget that I'm even recording, and I'm gonna try to look at the phone and make sure that the camera's still on. We'll see if I remember that. God, I love when the clay is this soft on the inside. It's so cool and like, it's just cool. It feels like the other side of the pillow is cool like that. I got a little thin in some areas, so I'm moving the clay back around into position to fortify those areas, hoping that I'm not creating pockets of air that will cause cause us not to survive the kiln. All we can do is hope for the best. I'm also distorting it in a way that's going to make it difficult to align, so I'm going to have to, be careful with matching the seams up and everything. This is just an unusually shaped piece, so I have to be careful about where I'm going in and how I'm going in because the slopes and planes are a little bit extreme. I'm going to go ahead and gently wedge these soft pieces together that were hollowed out. A lot of clay came out of here. All right, that's a nice solid block of freshly wedged clay. That's gonna go right into the bag and be ready for me to start on my piece tomorrow. And now I've got to go in. I think I'm gonna use the tool to smooth out the insides of this piece. So I think it'll just be easier. It's a little too high for me to reach in there with my fingers and feel confident that I've really compressed well. And that's what the tools are for. Get in those spaces where you can't do it with just hand building. Let me turn this the other way. And like I mentioned before, I've really distorted the insides, the shape from the inside and affected movement on the outside. So it's probably going to take a lot of maneuvering to get everything positioned in place to line up the seams. And that's fine, is what it is, you know? And my least fun part of the process, I've got to get the stinky slip ready because I'm getting ready to serrate the edges and join the pieces. And I told you that wet clay in the jar, maintained in an airtight jar at slip consistency, is the type of stuff you throw into the face of an enemy, straight up and down. Like, you got somebody you hate, like, that you would spit on. I'm talking that level of disrespect. That's what it would be like to throw this on someone. I would probably, and I'm scared of jail. I'm terrified of jail. I would end up in there, without a doubt. Without a doubt, if somebody threw a bottle of slip on me, a jar of slip on me, smelling like that, because you're going to assume that it's not clean water. The smell is going to have you believing that they put something very different and threw that into the area of your features, your eyes and your mouth and your nose, and you're going to lose it because the smell is that bad. I have the jar so far away from me because I don't want to smell it. All right, so I have got that done. Now it's time to lift him up, this part, and serrate him. And that, I didn't want to fall off. You know, I need to just pull that off. I can replace it with more clay, it's fine. Before I put it on, I'm just trying to see how much distortion has happened. I don't know, not too much it looks like. So this might line up okay. I'm gonna set it down very, very gently because I do want to make sure I'm lined up. This part is jutting out a little so I can see that, okay, just push that in. This part is jutting out, so I'm gonna push that in. Everything else seems to be lined up fairly decently, and I don't think I'll have too many problems. So I'm just going to press and wiggle, press and wiggle, press and wiggle. Let's get those pieces together. Got slip on my hands, gotta wash my hands for 15 hours, because damn it, man. So I'm just scooping off the excess so I can see what I'm working with here. Oh, that's the part where I had to remove a little bit of clay. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace that right now. because that's the only reason that gap is in there. Pushing it in. Slip allows me to blend it up nicely. I'll pull this over and push it in. I'm still recording, yay. I just remembered to look. There. Push that over. And I can fix all of that up a little bit later where it's gotten a little sloppy. But no biggie. And we'll have to fill that texture back in again, no problem. Those are the simple things. The least of our worries. There was a seam line that I could just see way too much. I don't trust it. So I'm just going to blend this right on up and really fortify that because I don't want to see a crack in his cheek. I really don't want to see that appear. Okay, we are calling it at 34 minutes. Remember I told you that the video cut off prior to this, and I don't know how much time all of this actually took. I'm gonna guess that I spent another 30 minutes, so it's probably just about at an hour. So yeah, so he's going to sit out here, and I'm calling it a night. I'm gonna be going to bed, and what he is going to do is sit out and just start drying again. The hollowing's done. Don't have to worry about that. Do want him to get leather hard so I can go back in and re-smooth and, oh, let me re-add in the texture that got taken away. Where's my wire tool, guys? The texture that got taken away while I was hollowing. I don't know where I put my wire tool. Did it fall? No, I don't know. I don't see it. Again, I'm sure it's like right. Of course it was right in my face. So just adding that texture back there lightly because I also refortified that with clay. So I'll be able to go in tomorrow when I wake up and just make sure all of that looks good. All right, good people, we are done for the night. You can hang with me for like 2 seconds while I go ahead and put the tools up, clean off the table. I will be starting on a new piece tomorrow, and will work all day until I'm at least to a halfway point. I'm not foolish enough to commit to finishing a piece a day because I'm quick, but I'm not that quick. So my goal was just to, there were 3 pieces that have been floating around in my mind, and I want to get to a 50% completion level on each of those 3 pieces. This one is beyond 50% completed. This is, I'd say about 85-90% completed, because it's been hollowed, which is the major thing that happens before the final thing happens, which is that last and final smoothing, and then putting it out to dry. So that has taken place, and hopefully I'll still have the same sort of vibe tomorrow and be able to get just as much accomplished, if not more. But the goal is 50%. I won't feel defeated as long as I meet that. And then on Monday, I'll work on the 3rd one, see how that goes. And those will be my first time doing like several pieces at once, because I'll just work on them intermittently until I get to a completion stage. So like while this is drying, I'll be, well, almost knocked that water off the table. I'll be working on the other one. As always, I thank you for your support. I hope you're looking forward to the date announcement for the Element of Surprise online art sale. That's going to be a really special time. I'm amped about that. I'm amped about you having a chance to finally purchase the pieces that you've been telling me that you're falling in love with at a really great price. Because it's going to be discounted for the Element of Surprise online art sale, and anything that's not acquired will go back onto, well, not go back because it's not currently up on the site, but it will be posted up onto the site at its regular acquisition fee, which is going to be very, very different from what's being offered at the Elements of Surprise online art sale. So I hope that you'll take advantage. I've been telling you guys to send me your email addresses, and you've been really following through with that. Thank you so much. So that when the date announcement is made, you'll be among the first to know. And of course, the 2 reminders that I promised you a few days before the sale, and then a few hours before Elements of Surprise, just so that you don't even have to worry about it, because life gets in the way, and you can get so distracted that you're like, well, I'll make a calendar entry for it. I'll set a reminder on my phone. And then the next thing you know, before you can even get to do that, something has taken you away, and then you forgot. So let me worry about that. Let me handle all of that. All right? So send me those email addresses, get on the list, know what that date announcement is going to be, and be ready. And tell people, of course. All right? Thank you.